She went with interval notation. -1, comma 3, all square brackets. And it is a function. Now, if you went the other way, it was -1 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 3. But it's still a function. Nicely done, Lauren. What is the range? Gripinder. Excellent. Or 2 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 6.
For set notation, you always put squiggly brackets.
You should, but all that's so picky and snooty that I just don't care. Later on, when you do a crap ton more set work, they're going to care. Because a lot of things change, right? There's a whole, math guys are notoriously lazy. And there is a whole bunch of shorthand they use for what this means and that means. And it takes a whole damn day to learn that. I would rather you learn the numbers first. Okay? 2. Who would like to do 2? Amshuman, give me the domain.
-4 is less than or equal to x, which is less than or equal to 2.
Absolutely correct. Or -4, comma 2. What's the range?
-3 is less than or equal to y, less than or equal to 4.
Excellent. Or -3, 4. And function or not?
No.
No.
We're smarter than Microsoft.
I have 2 of those portable games. It's lit. I had one, but it was in a tin and they brought it on an airplane, but they're like, oh, no, I don't want the airplane. They took their...
Okay. 3. Blake.
Square bracket, -1, comma, nothing, round.
Could have a blank if we're programming. Could have the infinity symbol. I don't care. Round bracket.
Range, square bracket,
Whoa, 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 big stuff. Holy. I got to convert it first. X is greater than or equal to -1. Because that covers everything. Now, Blake. Go.
range is square bracket, -3, comma, 5.
-3, comma, 5. Abso-smurfly correct. Or, of course, -3 less than or equal to y less than or equal to 5. The mistake that you guys will make here is you will go to the end of the function. You will go down to the bottom and be like, oh, you can't fool me, Mr. Myers. It goes flat. You told me it goes flat, so it goes down to here. And then you'll go up to here and you'll stop where the line ends. Without realizing, oh, wait a minute. I'm not looking at the line. I'm looking at the entire amount of values on the y-axis. Everybody cool? And of course, that is a yes for being a function. Does anybody need more instruction once they have seen those 3? Or can I skip to the ones that have a bit of difficulty to them?
Skip.
Is everybody happy?
Yes.
Go over all of them? You know you're getting 99% in the class, right? Okay.
We get 99% for not asking people to go over.
That's true. That's true. Okay. Number 4. What's the D? Lauren.
Round bracket, -2, comma, 4, square bracket.
Absolutely right. -2 less than x less than or equal to 4. And the range? -5. Why are there no brackets? Should have been in red. Why is it just a single number? It is 4. Why is it just a single number? Because the only y value on this whole graph is -4.
You would put -4 is equal to y. Does it really matter?
That's fine. Number 5. Oh, and that is a yes for a function. Number 5. Range. Or, sorry, domain. I do domains in blue. or -1, comma, round bracket, infinity, 0, or not 0, infinity or blank's fine. Range, Lauren?
Square bracket, -3, comma, 3 square bracket.
Yep. Or, and it is a function. It's a yes. This one, domain, -3, 0. Range, -2.
Oh, greater than or equal to y, less than or equal to y, greater, less than. Yeah.
Exactly what you wrote, Mr. Myers. Yes, exactly what I wrote. Everybody good? One, domain, -5, -4, -1, 1, 4, 7. Does everybody understand why? Okay, and then the ranges are the y values. I'm way too lazy to write them. If you understood domain, you understand range. Okay. This one, domain, -5, range, this one messes people up because all of you say, well, that's a closed bracket, Mr. Myers. There's no y equals 1. Yes, there is. Right there. Okay? And that is a function. That's a yes. This one. Domain. And this one is a no on the function because that hits both of them. Everybody good there? This one, what's the domain?
-8 is less than or equal to x, which is less than
Dude.
infinity or like blank.
Right.
Yeah.
So x is what? All real numbers, right?
Yeah.
Every single x value. So I showed you how to write that in the shorthand. It's that funky E and a big R.
That is the first time
I've never seen it.
Really?
You didn't show us your funky X value, I mean E value.
Where did I do your notes? Why are there no notes here? What the? Oh, there. Phew. Really? Nowhere did I do that big E thing? Not once? That's weird. See, my brain's going to mush because it's on both other ones. See, look. Look, look, look. I'm not crazy. See? I did that before, but just with one of the other classes. Okay, so good note. If it's everything, this big funky E, which means is a set of real numbers. And the range is -3, 0, 3, 4. This one, do I need to go over that one? -1 to +1, but the positive one's not included. And -3 to positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but the positive 6 isn't included. Is everybody okay? All right, now this one, for some reason, everyone's like, I got it. Previous 11, I've got them all right. I got 11 out of 11. Now do the 12th one. I can't. I'm not, Byron, I hear it all day, every day. I've done 12 questions in a row perfectly, and suddenly, all of a sudden, I can't do it. Well, did you try doing what worked the previous 11 times? No. Why? Because this looks different. Right, so if I put a pink shirt out for you to wear, and you've never worn a pink shirt before, all of a sudden you wouldn't know how to put it on? That's what you guys are saying to me when I give you a new question, and you're like, I know how to do that on. Did you try what worked before? No.
Okay, so you're saying if we wore a pink shirt, if we wore, I'm trying to relate this to that. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I get what you're trying to say. It's, why would we think we can't wear a shirt? Just because
For the same reason you think you can't do math when you're presented with a new thing. All right, so where do I look for domain? On the x-axis. What's the lowest x-axis? Right there, -5. What does it go up to? +5. So the domain is -5 to +5. What's the range? Exact same. -5 to +5. Is it a function? No, because it hits twice.
Okay. So say on a test like number 9, and you don't clue in that it just is all real numbers.
Oh, and you just wrote.
Literally all of that, like each thing, because I wrote.
So if you went.
Is less than,
If you went like.
and like 4 U's. So
Like that? Oh, I see. For the range, you went -3, U, 0, U, 3, U, 4.
yeah, sort of.
I don't care. Again, I care about concept. I don't care about notation. Notation can be for the nerdy later teachers than me. Okay? My only job is to make sure you understand what's going into that notation.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then, just to make sure everyone was okay with 177 and 78, I did provide the answers. Please tell me you understand why those answers are those answers. I will wait a moment whilst you make sure. I know some of you did some of those questions, and I know some of you may have a question about why the answer was the answer. I'm going to wait a moment while you decide that. We are indeed going to be sketching some graphs. They will be very sketchy.
It's in chapter 3.
that was really offensive.
What is going on?
We're back to when both of us have. I was looking as supposed to say that.
Anybody want to talk about any of those, or is everybody up to speed? And by up to speed, I mean that every single one you tried, even if you didn't try to do all of them, you had got the answer that was provided. Unless, of course, the answer that was provided was misprinted, which happens in textbooks all the time. And then, of course, you know that you did your math right because you have a great math teacher who taught you how to do it right. And you know that it's quite possible somebody hit a wrong button when they were printing and it snuck through at proofreading time.
I got it, but
E-I-O. Well, you said E-I twice, so, you know. Train of thought derailed. Friday afternoon. Hashtag fun. Go.
I got the answer, but how? If the line is past the nearest -2, right? So what do I write that as?
Are we talking about this E
top? Yeah, there you go.
right here?
Yeah.
Okay, so that line goes here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't even, what did they say in the answer? I didn't even look. Number 8E says less than or equals 2. Yeah. So because it comes out to here and goes that way, and it just ends, we assume it carries on. So that's why they said x is less than or equal to 2, which is the same as, right? You don't need that part of it because if you're carrying on.
Usually, though, don't you need the arrow to show that it keeps going?
Yeah, I would say if I were doing this question, I would have done that for you, but I did not print the textbook. For me, if you said that was 2.5, again, that shows me you understand where you're looking. I'd still give you full marks. Okay? But you will notice that they are very careful to put a dot when it starts.
Yeah.
Right? All right. Any other questions from 178, 179? You know, I am in charge of the classroom, right? And I have 30 choices where I can make you sit, right? Just making sure. Okay. Anybody else? 178 and 79. Once? Twice? Thrice? Okay. If you would be so kind then as to bring out the work that you did on Monday for that TOC, the numeracy assessment. If you would be so kind as to drag that bad boy out, that would make me very happy. Mr. Gill is a nice guy. I'm a big fan of Mr. Gill. He is the sub I try to get every chance I get. Please do.
I like Mr. T too.
Yeah, but Mr. T isn't necessarily a math teacher. Mr. Gill seems like good when it comes to because Mr. Gill is still doing stuff that Mr. T is kind of like
My stupid wife asked me last night if I was getting a sore throat. I was like, no! I'm aces! This morning, double dose of vitamin C, though. I'll be fine. I'll shake it off.
how was the tic-tac-toe game?
The tic-tac-toe game would have been better if the grade 10s didn't cheat. Right? Like, we probably would have won considering we were playing by the rules.
Yeah,
But
they're all like moving people out. Like they would start running when the person was still over at the.
they were running early. They were throwing the pennies from 20 feet away. Like, yes. But it's okay. Because the one time that it mattered when neither team was cheating, we won. Right? The first time we didn't win because Georgia, Ms. Weeb, oh my God, what do I do? I don't have a penny! Just like you kids, she didn't listen to the instructions, which was when the third penny goes out, you got to go out and move one. She didn't listen to that part. So she's at the end of the line, oh my God, what do I do without a penny? And the rest of us like, go get one. Go get one. Go get one. Ah! Meanwhile, they go win. So then when we got it all figured out, the middle one, when I ran out, I was right with the guy, and I paused for 1 second. He threw down a penny. Ha ha, got you, chunk. Then we won. And then in the third one, run out 2 steps, chuck the penny. The person running out 2 steps, when the arm is here, the next person's already running. It's okay though. We don't mind. That's why I haven't made any word of it. Kayla brought it up though.
I just want to
know if like the hockey team the doctors teach hockey, which is that going to be during school?
Yep.
No, isn't it usually a backup?
We've never done it before. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think it is like not usually it's not that many people that play hockey sometimes.
I don't know.
More than that.
The smart thing to do, if I were running the show, would be to say, it's at that arena, right? If you want to go to it, we do it right after lunch. You walk over there at lunch. You watch the game, and we dismiss from there. That would be the way I would do it. But I am not in charge, as is made very apparent daily.
Yeah, because then you have all those teachers that are like,
There are teachers that wouldn't want to go, and there are students that wouldn't want to go. So, much like everything else we do in the school, if you don't want to go, don't go. There's teachers here, go to one of those teachers. Have it as an X block. So, I don't know. But I do know that I will be playing out. So if you get a chance to go, you will see some good comedy. Because I am a horrible hockey player.
No, I don't think you're not that bad.
Oh yeah.
Are you,
No.
okay, you actually think you're that bad?
I am a bad hockey player.
Even as goalie?
I am a very bad goalie, but I come across as looking not too bad because I'm fairly athletic and have good reflexes and I'm not scared of anything. So I'll throw myself in front of anything. So I make saves that people think are really awesome, but it's just me diving like a maniac and the puck happens to hit me. I make a ton of saves that way and everyone's like, oh my God, that guy's not bad.
It's still a save though.
Like when I go play with all my buddies, I let in the same amount of goals as the other goalie who's a real goalie. He's been a goalie his whole life. But
Then that's considered good.
But then you're still good. You're still saving.
depends on how you look at it.
You're still defending.
It depends on how you look at it.
I mean, what are real goalies doing besides diving up?
That is true. That is true.
Our coach, like in hockey, will be like, why didn't you even be a goalie? You just stand in front of him.
The lonely end of the rink, man. There's a whole song about it. The Tragically Hip sang it. All right. And there's a whole movie called that. The Goalie's Anxiety at the Penalty Kick. Great movie. Directed by German auteur Wim Wenders. No. Yes, Wim Wenders. The Goalie's Anxiety at the Penalty Kick. Or Werner Herzog. It's one of the two. Werner Herzog is known for his documentary, Werner Herzog Eats His Shoe. He made a bet with somebody. There's a bet. If you do that, I'll eat my shoe. And the guy's like, you wouldn't. And he's, yes, I will. And he lost the bet. And then he ate his shoe. And he filmed it.
I bet my friend $20.
Ate his shoe. I don't know. I've never seen the movie. All right. I was listening to the radio today, and a song came on. It was a lovely song. I enjoyed it very much. I'd never heard it before. The young lady singer. Can't remember her name, so don't ask. Can't remember what the song's called, so don't ask, because that's not the point of the story. It was a good song. The DJ was talking about how that singer made a bad mistake about 5 or 6 years ago. She was offered to a gig at a club, and the club had no money to pay her. They offered to pay her 300,000 Bitcoin.
Oh.
Now, the people in the room that know what Bitcoin is know why that was a stupid decision, because of course she said no. She said no. Had she said yes, that gig, $1.5 billion.
What's Bitcoin?
Bitcoin is
like
like
an
a,
investment.
okay, let me explain it. So
Oh, this should be fun.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's like the black market for like the drug dealers and stuff.
That's not what it's about.
Okay, so
No, they're gonna be using
like I said, this is going to be fun.
This is what he said. They're gonna be using it like it's a currency that like drug dealers or something use. It can't be like stock or whatever, something like that. I don't know. This is what someone told me. This is what someone told me. I'm just saying what I heard. But yeah, and then apparently it's worth like a lot.
It's cryptocurrency. It's not real. It's not backed up.
It's not.
It's not backed up by any kind of product or anything, which means it wildly fluctuates.
And it's very risky. So if you put $100,000 into Bitcoin,
So-
to make get you, I think it's like 0.3 of a Bitcoin is what get $100,000.
A few years ago, it didn't really exist. It was just an idea. So nobody cared about it. But like everything, as soon as you say it's virtual, it's on the internet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what like.
I remember the Cranberry Festival like 5 years ago.
What
my
can you
parents were
buy?
laughing.
Anything.
There was a stand-up.
It's a currency.
Yeah, some banks are like accepting it.
Yep. It's a currency.
Isn't it, how much one Bitcoin is worth like
What?
one
Oh, is there? One of this season talks about Bitcoin? I haven't watched this season yet. Okay, let us move on then, cabbages. Here we go. We've already talked about the subjective questions in this assessment that you will be facing next year. Let's talk about the more objective questions. Now, did I discuss the format of this? A few questions on one topic, a few questions on another topic, and then a big question on one of those two topics. You get a choice. I didn't give you a choice in your practice because I didn't want to print out that much paper. So I made you do the water one. But if this was the real test, you would have had a choice between the water budget or something about pit houses. Okay? And then you'll do like 12 more questions and then another choice. Then you do like 12 more questions and another choice. So you're gonna end up doing, for argument's sake, 36 questions like this and 3 longer extended answers. Okay? And you will always get a choice on extended answers. I do not know if you will get this test virtually on a computer where you can make your choice and you won't see what the question is like, or if you'll have it on paper, you can flip ahead a little. Oh, I don't like that question. I'm going to do the other one. I don't know, so don't ask. I don't know if it's going to be like a choose your own adventure or if it's going to be you can do a little ahead reading and decide, right? If you can do a little bit of ahead reading, then make your decision that way. If you have to make a choice without reading the questions, just like choose your own adventure, put a thumb in the book where you made that choice and go to, if you turn left, go to page 72. If you turn right, go to page 81 and 72. You are dead. Well, then you go back where your thumb is and you go to the right, right? Do that. But bear in mind, you are under a strict time limit. So if you're one of the people that takes a long time, you get halfway through a long question, you might be better off to finish it than to try and do it again. Notice I did not say that person's name. You all looked at that person. I did not say that person's name, and I did not even look at that person. I am not even intimating at what that person's gender may or may not be.
But you're avoiding eye contact with everyone.
I am looking at everybody.
Except that person.
Except you could argue that. All right, so to be fair, I should look at that person. No, Justin has been way better this year. You guys have been really mean to him. I'm really shocked. Justin is kicking. Yes, he is. Yeah. Hey, who needs 10 cents of Canadian Tire money? I know.
American Tire money.
Canadian Tire money.
Yeah, sorry. Canadian Tire money.
Yeah, my mom and dad have hundreds and hundreds of dollars of Canadian Tire money.
But imagine just like, oh yeah, I want this air conditioner. Okay, then I'll
Yeah.
give you X amount of money, and then you just walk out.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, you make it rain.
5 cents. You don't
Yeah, you bring out a briefcase and you open it up like in Pulp Fiction.
But I don't understand.
I used to play in a poker game that would take Canadian Tire money at par. So if you ran out of money, you could buy chips with Canadian Tire money.
Why not
What?
just use gift cards like everyone else does? Like,
Gift
why-
cards are lame.
Yeah, but then you're wasting so much paper.
I agree with you, but gift cards are lame. All right, let's go. What's the answer to number 1? Whistler and Port Alberni. Yay! How many people got 1 out of 1? I did.
Where's my medal?
Huh?
Where's my medal?
Gold star. Wait. There you go. Now all of you feel fulfilled because you have been given immediate positive gratification and feedback. Now, of course, some of you probably did that wrong, but you still get your gold star because that's what matters. Number 2.
It's definitely that one.
Which graph? I'm going to shrink it down so we can see all of them on the page. Is it graph 1? Son of a motherless. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is definitely graph 2. Why?
Because it has the most information.
Because it's the only one that shows everything. It shows who's in the family and what they're using and how much they are using. And by the way, Lauren, that was totally going to be graph 4. I was doing that. All right. Now, number 3. Number 3 is a simple question if you are a good math student, right? Because what do we use in math instead of cute little pictures? Variables. So that is 6x, that's 5y, right? But of course, some people just don't understand the alphabet and math. So we give them a nice little picture to work with. Now all of a sudden, apparently, drawing this makes this okay. Because if they see this, they'll all of a sudden know how to do math. Because the argument is, well, letters, that's not math. So whatever, that's fine. Right? Which is, of course, why I always say 6 lightning bolts and things like that, just to prove it. Now, which one of those is the one that will work? Hint, there's more than one. Dun, dun, dun. But you only had to circle one, but there's more than one there that will work.
Bamboozled again.
Bamboozled, like the Friends board game. Sam.
I think it's the fourth one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it's the fourth one.
Sam says it's this one.
This one. That
This one.
That one, yeah.
Is Sam correct? Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Number 3 is also right.
Yeah.
Because divide by 4, divide by 7. You got to divide by both of them. Because it's a family of 4 and they want to know their own use per week.
But that's assuming that it's all homogeneous. Like,
Oh, of course it is. Of course it is. But given those choices, those are the only 2 that will work.
yeah.
This question caused much grief in some of my other classes. Where is this question fraught with peril?
They don't tell you how many liters.
No, they do though.
They do on the very first page. It's 10 liters per minute,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, on the first page.
So 10 liters per minute. So one way that this could be fraught with peril is you don't use all the information available to you, right? Okay, what else makes this fraught with peril? Time. Because how many people did this? 11.15. Is time measured in hundreds? What's time measured in? 60s. So it's 11 and 15 sixtieths of the next minute, which is 11 and 1/4, which is 11.25 minutes. Times
10.
how many a day?
Oh. Okay.
Times 5. Times how many days? 7
Times 10.
times 10, because it's 10 liters for every minute.
That's 39.
And it's 3,937.5.
The nearest liter is 8.
Nearest liter. If you put 38, you get a 4. If you put 37, I'd give you a 3. Why?
Because you don't know how to round.
Because you don't know how to round.
4 to the floor, 5 to the sky. That's what my
Actually,
teacher
you get that
did.
right.
He, like,
I like
we
that!
ran around chanting 4 to the floor, 5 to the sky.
My grade 3 teacher said 5, 6, 7 was the exception, 8, and 9 all have bellies. They all have bellies.
But 7 doesn't have.
I know, 7 was the exception. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that in 1983, Miss Silver said that's how you remember how to round.
It's not like the kids are gonna look at me like, okay, 5,
What?
6, 8, 9. Those you round up, and then 7. No. You round down.
But I like that better.
All 5 you round.
5 to the sky. What was it again? 4 to the floor, 5 to the sky. And where do you live? West Eagle Mountain. Yes. That's my new one. Who is your grade 4 teacher? I have to give her credit.
Grade 3, Mrs. Stapleton.
Mrs. Stapleton. I can't do that. My wife, not my girlfriend. Don't tell my wife about my girlfriend. Just kidding. My wife's, one of her ex-boyfriends was a Stapleton.
They might have gotten married.
No. All right, next one. This one causes much grief because both answers are correct, depending on how you did the work. Who would like to discuss what they did here? Byron, go.
So I took all the information and I treated it in percents.
How?
So I took the toilet first and I did 52 divided by 65 times 100. Got me the percentage.
Excellent.
as a percentage
Then what?
of previous water use. And I did the same for the other.
So you did the same for all of them.
Yeah.
Times 100 and 80 over 110 times 100.
And it came out to 80%, 66.6, and 72.7.
80, 66, and 72. Then what? Great. What'd you do with that?
Then I divided all that by 3.
So you added all that up and found an average. Add. You totaled that. Total divided by 3 and got what for percentage?
73.1.
73%. And then you said that was where did you tick?
The top one.
Current water use as previous water use. Absolutely correct. That's a lot of work. Could he have done something simpler?
I just added them all up and then found the percentage. Like I did.
Yeah.
The current was 164 and the previous was 200.
Yeah, so Lauren went 162 over, it was like 233 or something? 223, and then found it to be 74%. And then she would have ticked the same one, right?
Well, I actually, before I did the math, I was like, I don't know what you're wanting me to do. Because they asked you to do the percentage afterwards, and then I just found the
So
percent reduction.
what this question is saying, if you did this, what Byron and Lauren did, you're finding the current water use as a percentage of your previous water use. Now, if you're using 74% of what you used to use, then what was your reduction? 26% reduction. So if you did it that way, then you would have been Xing this, right? And the percentage, if you went the blue way, like Lauren and Byron did, you would have said 74, and you would have been right, or Byron did 73. It would have been okay. And if you did the red way, you would have said 26. Or if you were Byron, you would have said 27.
Yeah.
Both ways are correct. That's what I'm trying to get across to you. It just depends on which math you did. And it shows the person marking it that you understand the difference between a reduction or a percentage of. Right? If my pay is reduced by 50%, then I go down to half of my pay for a day. If I'm paid $400 for a day, my pay is reduced by 50%, I lose $200 that day. But I'm still paid $200 that day, so I'm paid, I shouldn't have done 50 because that's the same number both ways. That was stupid. If I get reduced by 30%, I'm being paid 30% less, but I'm being paid 70% of my wage. Everybody cool? Okay, moving on. Okay, this question, much argument ensued here as well. The question was, what is unreasonable? Select all that apply. So what there is not something that is reasonable for a family of 4 to attempt? Should you try and fix your leaks?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. This is very, just hear me out here. It's actually,
Fraught with lawyer ball.
No, it's valid though. It's valid.
Yeah, I know it is. It always
The
is.
family has decided on some strategies to reduce their total water use. Of course, you don't want water everywhere, but as solely a means of reducing water use, that's only 21 liters that you're saving. Is that really reasonable for the amount of work you put in it?
Depends on how much work it is.
It's a huge difference.
If every single person fixed their leaks, Canada has, what do you want to say, 10 million households? Say.
Say 10.
Choose a number. There's 30 million people in the country.
Let's say 9 million.
Okay, fine. 9 million. 9 million times 21 liters.
That's a big number.
Do you want to save that water?
Of course.
Okay. So, is fixing leaks a good way to reduce your water use? Sure. Can I use a clothes washer once a week?
That's not, no.
No. I don't know about you guys, but I could probably get away with running my washer 24 hours a day. I have a pre-teenage girl, right? Who has her sleep clothes, her pre-breakfast clothes, her breakfast clothes, her school clothes, her after-school clothes, her dinner clothes, her karate clothes, her lounge around the house after karate clothes, back to pajamas. And then has the nerve to say when it's laundry time and the piles of laundry are on my bed where I have folded them, why do I have so much laundry, Daddy? Perhaps, Beth, you should do the laundry, which is the new move. I have kids doing laundry now, which means, of course, I never have clean laundry. All right, so that's unreasonable. Parent number 2, reduce tap use by 1/4. Is that reasonable?
Yeah.
Probably no. Because they're kids.
Per person.
If they're kids, the kids are just gonna know.
Supervise the kids.
The kids are just gonna leave it half the time.
We don't
Everybody gets
supervise the kids.
You can't even wash your hands.
Really?
You can't even wash your hands once with less than them.
That's pretty small.
Clean. Boom. All your time is done.
Okay, let me ask you this. How many of you, if you wanted a glass of water from the kitchen tap, walk up to it and turn it on? And put your water cup under it right away, fill it up, and turn it off? No, every single one of you runs it.
I run it and I feel it till it's cold.
Damn right you do. Damn right you do. Damn right you do. How many of you, if you're making ramen noodles, turn the hot water on and wait till the water gets hot before you put it in the pot?
No, I don't.
Some people do. How many of you get into the shower and leave the water running? While you put your back to it so you can wash your front. Why do you put your Why do you put your back to the shower? Why do you put your back to the shower? Because if you put your front to the shower, the soap will rinse off, right? What is making the soap rinse off? Could you not turn it off? You're right, no, you couldn't turn it off. And then you get cold. Hey, you guys, you don't worry. When you guys are 40 and the Americans have stormed over the border for our water supplies, you can think back to this class. Go.
Wait till the Panther today.
So,
No, actually.
now,
No, the secret's out now. I'm assuming you've ruined it. You what? It's okay, Captain.
no, I'm not. At any rate, every single one of you could very easily use the water tap. Now, Lauren, what you're saying, and then
I literally put my water bottle under the tap and then turn on the tap.
Lauren, listen to me. You and I are, Lauren, we're arguing different points. You are arguing every single use. I am arguing you don't have to cut back by 1/4 every time you turn on the tap. Your total cutback has to be less. So, for example,
5 minutes. It takes me 30 seconds to fill my water bottle. I fill it up like 3 times a day. So that's 8 minutes and 30 seconds. If we reduce that by 1/4, I'm already over my time.
yes, that is what you say.
Filling up the water bottle.
My argument would be, do you need to fill that water bottle?
Yes, I
Or do you choose to fill that water
I
bottle?
need to.
No, you choose. You are not going. Lauren, go meet someone from South Sudan and then talk about hydration.
Show me the person from South Sudan who's riddled with disease from drinking nasty water.
Okay, it's not the nasty water, it's the amount of water.
And not only this,
The fact that you all feel that you're going to die if you don't have water available every second of every day. There's 7 billion people in the world. About 6.5 of them don't have water at any given moment, and they're still alive. That's all I'm trying to say. All right. What about reducing a shower time by 1/3? So Lauren wants to say that that is unreasonable.
Yeah, because
That's fine. What about, because again, it's subjective. What about the next one? Could we reduce our shower time? I just gave you an example of how to reduce your shower time.
we could, but is everyone gonna ask?
I take
When the Americans storm across our border and take our water, you're going to wish you had.
That's just more water for the Americans. You know, we get timers to stop that water.
Yep. Yeah.
5 minutes. I take like 15 minutes. But I take like 3 minutes in the shower.
Wait until you have to start paying for your water like they do everywhere else in the world where you have a water bill. Then all of a sudden, and it's coming out of your pocket, that 15-minute shower, you'd be amazed how clean you can get in 5.
I take like a 3-minute shower, then sit on that floor for like an hour.
Okay. What about this one? Running 5 loads a week? Okay. What about washing dishes by hand? Would it use more or less water?
Uses less water to take control of that.
Okay, so you would say that's not unreasonable. You know I don't care. All right. Pit houses. Lots of information on the front page. Make sure you read it. Which one of those is required?
Area required for living space.
Yep, that's the only one that matters. Doesn't matter how long the ladder is. You don't live on the ladder. Doesn't matter how tall it is. All of you have been in a tent that you can't stand up in. It still shelters you. Doesn't matter how big the hole to get in the top is. You're not living in the hole to get into the top. That's the only one that matters.
Wait, hold on. But don't you need to include, because if you look at it, the shelters are just circular, right? And it's asking how many people would have lived in the pit house. Just the area required for living space doesn't account for like the 1 meter you need for the ladder.
Yeah,
Fire, right?
but dude, read the question. The question says you want to estimate the number of people who might have lived in that pit house. So the only thing that matters is how much area one person needs to live. Right?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how tall the ladder is. If I pull the ladder into the pit house, can I still live in it? Yeah, so the ladder doesn't matter. If the pit house is shorter than me, can I crouch? So does the height matter? No. Does the top opening matter? If it's really tiny and I got to wiggle my way out, can I still get out? Top opening doesn't matter. Okay? All right, next question. Much consternation from other classes. What do I have to do to figure it out? We just did the first question. We know we need the area, right? So how do I find the area? It's which one? It's number 3. Right? Because it's pi r squared. We have a diameter. So 9 over 2 squared times pi, no problem. Why am I dividing by 4?
That's how many meters one person needs.
One adult needs 4 meters of living space. Wouldn't it be awesome if that's what the real world was like now? If you recognize that, wait a minute, I only need, like, from me to Josiah to Rose to Sarah, that's the only amount of space you need to live. All right. 2, How many answers for number 9? I've already given it away. More than one. Which ones are they? 2 and 3. Well done. Number 10. What are you going to do?
4 centimeters squared. Meters. 44 meters squared.
Why is it 44?
I don't know. I just wrote the answer.
It is 44. 3 families. Family need 10. Plus 2 couples. Couples need 7. That's 44 meters squared. But what do you need? You're still missing something. Look on the front page. Ladder space. How big is the ladder in the fire? Ain't no one living on the fire. Plus 1. 45 is my area. I need the radius. Pi r squared. Do the math. Do you even need your calculator? Of course not. What's pi really close to? 3. So that's kind of close to 15 when I divide by pi, right? 15 is r squared. What's 15 kind of close to? 16. Right. 16 equals r squared. So what's r? 4. If you showed me that work, do you get full marks?
Yeah.
Damn right you do. As a matter of fact, that makes the people marking this happier than if you get out a calculator. That is what this test is about. Because out in the real world, that shows you understand numbers. Punching numbers into a calculator means nothing. It's the same way that the people of the world thought that your generation were going to be computer geniuses because you were using them every day. Bunk. Garbage. They thought that about my generation too. There are teachers in this building that still, I don't know how to fix this. Did you try restarting it? How do I do that?
But I downloaded it.
Exactly. Yes. Think of, some of you have parents. Yes. Some of you have parents that are my age. My age was the first generation that was supposed to be brilliant with computers. How bad are your parents with their computers? Right.
Yeah, but our generation's going to be your age.
We know how to use them, but we don't know how to make them.
You know how to use them, but you don't know how to do stuff with them. You can
Some of them.
use, yes, some. But as all generalizations, Byron, there's a kernel of truth in the middle of them.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Just like there are plenty of people my age that are programming rockets to go to Pluto. I am not one of them. However,
Like how Virgin Airlines.
I can make this happen. There's like 10 people in the school that can make this happen. Right? When we first got the new photocopiers that would allow me to print from my room right to the photocopier, there was like 3 people in the school that could do it. And I'd walk down there and pick up my printing and walk out, and all the suckers in photocopy line were like, how'd he do that? He's a magician. Yes, I am. All right. Go. How many of you did this? I'm betting a great many of you. 8 meters, 10 adults. Well, 12 is 1.5 times 8. So it must be 10 times 1.5. So it must be 15 adults. How many of you said that? Please put your hands up, because a great many of you said that. Be honest. Don't be that way. You can be honest. Pit houses are what shape? Round. Which means every time you increase the radius, area is pi r what? Pi r what? Say it again. Does it go up in a line? Does area of a circle go up in a line? Yes or no? No, because radius is squared, so it goes up in a curve, doesn't it? So you can't do that. What you had to do was this. 10 adults lived in 16 pi worth of space, right?
Yes.
So, how many adults lived in, what's this one?
Where did 16 pi come from?
Yeah.
What's, diameter is 8.
Yeah?
What's the radius?
4?
What's 4 squared?
Okay, never mind.
Okay. What's this one? 36 pi. So if 10 adults fit in 16 pi, how many adults fit in 36 pi? Do I care about the pies? No. How many times did I have to multiply 16 by to get 36?
Twice and a bit.
2.25, right? So what do I got to multiply this by? 2.25, which is 22.5, which is 22 or 23. Both of them would have been acceptable. This is what we're talking about. As soon as I show you the math, all of you are like, got it, no problem. Is that getting it? Or is that doing math?
No. Yeah.
Which one do you need out in the real world? getting it. Do you understand why why certain persons wish to change how we assess you people? Every one of you can do this fraction. Because all of you can do multiply the pair, divide the pair, but whatever you do. But the vast majority of you, the best and brightest math minds in our school in grade 10, did 1.5 times 10, didn't you? And I'm not putting you down for it. I'm not putting you down for it. I'm just letting you know. What's wrong with number 12? What did this doofus do wrong?
He assumed only single adults lived there.
One mistake. He assumed only single adults lived there because he divided by 4. Right?
The number of people were not rounded.
Didn't round the number of people. I don't know about you, but I wouldn't want to live in a room with 0.75 of a person.
Yeah, I'm like 0.75.
Was that like missing 2 arms or something?
You could argue that. Or the person could be dead because a quarter of them is gone.
Or
I know, I'm just kidding. But I would argue, Lauren, that is Byron, who is down a leg right now, less of a person?
well, he still has his leg.
If Byron lost that leg, is he no longer Byron?
He's still Byron, but he's less person.
He's less of a person.
He's less person. No, not less of a person.
Did you know
less
the leg
person.
is
So a person missing part of their body is less...
Not what I'm saying.
Lauren! I am shocked. All of everyone heard you. Your words were, he is less of a person.
I said less person. There is less person. If you're missing an arm,
So by your argument,
average person.
if I am lying on a hospital bed, plugged into something, I cannot breathe, eat, sleep, converse, no possible stimulation response, I am still a full person.
You're a complete person, as in a body. Yeah. If
Alright.
you're missing a limb, then you're less person. You're not less of a person.
Do I take up the same amount of space?
No, you don't, because you have less arms.
So with Byron, if Byron were to lose his leg, we'd be happy because we could what? Put a baby could live in that space where his stump was?
Yeah.
He doesn't need that anymore because he has no leg.
You can put streamers and stuff.
Give him some racing stripes. Anyways, that doesn't matter. It's funny. What else is not important there?
Fire pit and outer space.
He forgot about the fire pit. What else?
You also need to consider the age.
The age is important because babies are part of a family, right?
Up to like -3.
Now, which two don't matter? Obviously, what's left. Does it matter if they're men or women?
No.
No, or whatever the Paleolithic, Native North Americans identified as their genders? Or does diameter matter?
Not really. No.
Nope, because he had the area. And now we are done. All right? You're going to face that in a year.
So do we get our grades back after?
Huh?
Like when we do it, do they give us...
I don't know, because they've never done it before. I have no idea how they're going to handle it. No clue. To be perfectly honest with you, Byron, I don't even know if it's going to happen.
Okay.
But I want you, forewarned is forearmed. But careful, because that makes you more of a person.
No, you have less body space, so you're less person, not less of a person.
Lauren is bodyist.
Yeah, that's what I was saying for sure. Is that you're not a person if you're comparing your muscles off. I'm sorry, my dad's not a person.
Less of a person.
No, I said less person. Less of you.
I like this. I like this. I like that you're there. I like that he's moved up to here. All right. All right, so where does that leave us? New stuff on Monday. That's where that leaves us. Okay. You know what I had to do all week this week?
Like this, you get paid a reasonable amount for this, and have to give
Yeah, I just fell ass backwards into it, right? Never mind that 6 years of university and that 13 years.
when you work at McDonald's,
I know. How do you think I paid for 6 years of university? Yes. Nor do I.